So wait, what's this going for?
I'm just gonna say 10K.
10,000?
Yeah, it's 10K.
I almost buy our own ship for that. 10,000. The budget is 20,000. The goal is 296 North American Nintendo 64 tapes, and we have 14 days. Whoa, 700.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
There you go.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I got so far. There's a ton of 64 games, and on top of that, they hit me with right away. Oh, there's another. The expensive stuff's in the back.
Dude, did you know it was like this?
There is stuff pristinely displayed everywhere. I have never seen a video game store like this.
I remember the launch of the Nintendo 64 like it happened last week.
The hype around the N64 was real, and I just remember at Montgomery Words they had videos playing and like all these like sneak peek images, and
You had new kinds of games and new kinds of movement that you hadn't seen before. It was kind of like the Wild West of 3D in those days, with the 64 coming out and obviously Sega Saturn.
And the Nintendo 64, I know it was just, there's so much hype about it being a 3D powerhouse. This is the future of video games, it's 3D.
That was the system to have. That was the system that could not be beaten. And that was the system that I think everybody had to have at that point in time.
Over the course of the last few years, I lost mom to Alzheimer's and dementia. To say losing your mother is hard I can't even describe it. To watch somebody fade away into nothing, it's the worst experience or disease I've ever encountered. So all the games that we get are going to be auctioned off, and every single penny is going to the Canadian Alzheimer's Society.
People see that 296 game count. I can collect all those. I can do this.
I lived through him a little bit when he's out there buying games. I've been through it myself.
You're gonna have to find a lot of great game stores who have some great inventory. Nintendo 64 is still super hot.
I want to see them found, and I also want to see just how expensive that they can get. In 14 days, that sounds pretty insane.
It's an interesting journey to see these games 30 years later being purchased and collected for a great cause.
Can he do it, or did he fail? And either way, it's going to be entertainment. And I think whatever happens at the end, it'll be entertainment watching it, and I can't wait to see it myself.
I wish him luck. That's all I can say, man.
We're going to hit the road. We're going to hit as many stores as we can, get all the games, and raffle them off for the Alzheimer's Society. It's not to love. This is much more than just collecting games. This is a quest for hope.
This is indeed a quest for hope. Hello, my friends. Welcome to our stream. Oh, we got to stop that bad boy. That's Rob talking on the video. That's my bad. There he is. Wrong button. How you doing? I was like, what is happening?
Where is he? He's all around us.
Because it's the same exact backdrop. I'm like, what is this sorcery? What is going on, everyone? All 23 of you, thank you for hanging out with Rob and I tonight.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wait, is Chad here yet?
Chad is here. We are here.
Okay, we can go then. Just want to make sure.
Nintendo 64 Quest, the Kickstarter, your chance, your final hours to own the Blu-ray, to take a piece of video game history. Well, I like to call it that anyway. Welcome, my best pal, Rob McCallum.
Yeah, thanks for co-hosting this and spreading the word and counting down the final minutes of what has been a 31-day Kickstarter campaign for our latest adventure, the ultimate 64-bit road trip, Nintendo 64 Quest, which we also have to legally say the most unofficial and unauthorized Nintendo 64 documentary ever. It's been a pretty fun month.
It's flown by, dude. Before we get into it, we got to shout out the community like always. So Raj, Raj, you're here first. I'm fully recovered, not even close, my friend. I feel like I'm in a daze, but that's okay. I'm here for you guys. The Den of Geek is here. Den says, I'm so glad this project got funded. Hey, we are too, man. We are too.
Well, it's not over yet. We'll see if we cross that finish line in 114 minutes to go. It's looking good.
Matt Rubin, woo woo. This is going to be a blast. Good to see you. Matt Tracker Rubin and Matt Noon is also here. Glad you're feeling better. Won't be able to make it for much of the stream. Happy to see the notification again. Good to have you here, buddy. What's up? I got a troublemaker in the chat here. Mods ban this guy.
Yeah, he's
Real. What's up, dude? Hey, everyone. Congrats on the Kickstarter. Rob and Jay. Dale
Kev.
is here. We got Jet. Greetings and salutations. And the mighty Mo has arrived. Look at this guy. Look at this guy here. Let's go.
Love it.
Sir
He
Chad.
gets a slow clap. Every time Chad pops into one of your streams, you got to...
Oh, he gets it. He gets the special treatment. Fantasia, yo, what up? Did I miss everybody? Skyfall. Been a while. Good to see you, my friend. Our good buddy JT is here as well. Jeremy, how you doing, man? Welcome on in. Rondo, yo. Speaking moistly. Good to see you guys.
Oh, Merman, love it.
Well, I mean, this is nice right here, right? I wouldn't miss seeing Rob McZob on screen. It's so nice of you to say.
I appreciate that. That just fills my bucket, Chad.
How has your week been, my friend?
It's been a busy week, to say the least. Not nearly as eventful or roller coastery as yours from everything that we talked about. And your delirium, I should say. It's been really just counting down to today, making the most of it, getting it out there, trying not to irritate and alienate everyone on every possible social media platform, letting them know that this is the last chance. And you know why I have to do that? And you're there with me. I'm tagging you and everything, and you're sharing. Because what happens the second this is over, Jay? People ask us what?
Can I get a copy of it?
Can I get a copy of it?
Yeah, well,
I'm doing my best to save that hassle for everybody out there. So
the answer to that is maybe, maybe not. We never really know in these kind of circumstances. What we do know is that you can get one right now.
That's right.
So we're here to talk about, of course, Nintendo 64 Quest. We're here to answer any questions you guys have. We got a bunch of questions and topics that we want to bring up as well. But we're going to give JT a shout out with the $10 donation. Thank you so much, my friend. Yeah, let's go. Glad to see you guys today. Congrats on the successful Kickstarter.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I love that you've got looks like a subscriber named Jet Screamer.
I
That
do.
is wicked. So I don't know if do you know that reference?
I don't, but I always call him
It's from the Jetsons. That was like the rock star in the Jetsons that Judy loved, and that's his song Eep Op Ork Ah Ah. It's awesome. Anyways, there we go.
That's awesome. Look at this guy.
He's just battling us on both fronts.
We just put it on Facebook to advertise, but nobody ever really joins in from there. Chad, hold on the fort, buddy. Hold on the fort. We got a gifted membership coming in from the Den of Geek.
Oh, wicked.
Thank you so much, buddy. And congrats to Jock. You got your membership renewed for free. Thanks to the Den of Geek. Thanks for the support of the channel, buddy. Much love.
Look at this. This is just really awesome. Look at this community love. Bringing us down 110 minutes to go. Currently sitting at $33,029 US, which works out to $44,858 Canadian. Digital copies of the series can be yours for $19. All 14 episodes, because we hit our stretch goal, Jay. Did you know that? $25,000. We crossed that.
We did.
And that unlocked an extra episode. So it went from 13 to 14 episodes. Just like that.
Look at that. 44,000 of our goal of 13.5.
Yeah. So if you highlight over that little dollar sign, you'll see what the original numbers are and what it is in US. For
Right
all of
on.
our American friends that may be watching, wondering what the hell is CA dollars? It's funny money. Our money smells like maple syrup. It's made out of plastic. It's practically an amusement park in Canada.
Pretty much. So we are counting down. This is your chance, guys. Kickstarter.com/Nintendo64 Quest to get your copy right now. Bunch of great options there that we're going to go through. we're not going to try and sales pitch it too much. Well, we will, but
Every 6.5 minutes, 109 minutes to go. This is your last chance. I'm just saying.
Real with the one gifted. Thank you so much, buddy. Right on. Let's go. And congrats to Dale for you got yourself a membership there. Sorry, guys. I am on cloud 3000 right now. I'm hanging in there, boys. Holding the line. Did Jay just say you could get one right now? I could have sworn I heard that. I think Matt's got the same ailment I have, so him and I are not going to make any sense whatsoever. Digital Oasis, how you doing? Welcome
That's
on in.
Wicked, one of our awesome sponsors for N64 Quest, and one of the places that we stopped in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Angelo and Tara, awesome people, great
Good to
visit.
see you
You'll
guys.
have to
Yep.
wait to see it though, and you'll only get to see it if you become a backer. Because let me tell you, right now I've only signed 2 distribution deals, Canada and Germany. And that means if you're in America, like so many of our American friends, you're not going to be able to check it out. And even if a deal was signed today, it's going to be at least 6 months before it gets to any of those countries and territories. Easiest way to get around that, join up, grab a disc, be a part of it. Physical media forever, especially that 3-disc Blu-ray that also lands your name in the end credits. You can up that to an associate producer credit. We have a few of those left as well.
We got a super chat from Cutthroat Comics. How you doing, buddy? Welcome on in. Thank you for the $2 donation. What is it like to work with Jay on Nintendo 64 Quest? Rob McCallum. Thank you, Cutthroat, for the $2.
Oh, so I have to answer this? Is that
Well,
is
he's
that
not
the deal?
asking me, he's asking you. There you go.
Well,
get him up
maybe
there.
you're having an out-of-body experience right now, and you can. What's it like to work with
I
myself?
want an
in these
in-body
situations?
experience. I'll take it in.
It's fun. It really is. I mean, I get to do it's the kind of the best job in the world. I get to tell stories and make films and TV shows. And when you get to do it with your best buddy, it's like the next level. And when you get that sick pleasure from watching him sweat and squirm on camera with this big game show like scenario that you've created that is built to just torment and torture him, and you push him down that gauntlet of terror, it's a great way to spend the time together.
I agree. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress on both of our ends for different reasons, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Let's move on. Tubi. Yeah, I think you can find. I don't know if Nintendo Quest is on there.
It should be on there, but an Action Figure Adventure is on there as well. But
Right.
that's it. It's not going to be on Tubi, unfortunately, because we don't have that deal in place. We only have a premium paid channel in Canada known as Super Channel, and that's it. We don't have anything else that has come across us or makes sense for us to do just yet. I mean, Tubi, you make 4 cents per unique view. And frankly, that's a really hard thing to give up. So we're trying to figure out a sweet way to do it. It may be possible, but it won't be till much later on until we can make a decision like that.
Mo
Yeah.
says, get back to the 3-disc set. Almost forgot. So glad you did this stream. Thanks, Mo. Love you, buddy. Appreciate
That's
that.
awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. That is a great way to go with this, because those bonus features are going to be it's going to be nice to have those forever.
Jet, also your 10K. The prize that you won will be on its way soon. I wasn't expecting to get this nasty visitor this week, so hang in there, buddy. Here's the last one to go out. Who else we got here? Oh, Packers, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, and shout out to Packers, by the way, who gave me some great medical advice. So thank you, appreciate that.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, so look, you mentioned physical media is incredibly important. This is our chance right now to own a physical copy, because we don't know what digital services it'll be on for how long. Blah 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 blah. So I'm going to ask you, Rob, with digital video games unfortunately becoming the mainstream now, I would say, as of this year specifically, why is it it's still important for us to go out there and get physical video games of older systems?
Well, there's a few different reasons for that, right? There's the whole preservation aspect to it, because so many games that are just digital only, that don't cross that importance threshold to get even like a limited run release at some point, are just swept away forever. Not only because they've never been preserved physically, but because the hardware required to run them also disappears too. When a server shuts down, it's gone. That's it. That game experience. And while I love the idea, like you had to be there to get it, And it's nice when you get to be in the know and experience that cool game for that time when it was there. It's also nice to be able to kind of showcase that experience. It's getting harder to do that because even, I mean, in the gaming world, with the change that we've seen in televisions and television technology from RGB and S video and HDMI, that alone has complicated a lot of retro systems. There's a lot of workarounds and third party partners, and that whole second cottage industry has sprung up, but it's not the same, right? Playing an NES
Yeah, I
Mini
agree.
on an HDMI TV is not the same as playing NES hardware on your CRT TV. It's just a little different.
In
So
fact,
you got to know where you're coming from and where our gaming world has been in order to know where it's going and why that matters, I guess, is the short answer.
I was gonna say, like, even the new stuff that's on the Switch, like oh, whew, the stuff that's on the Switch, there's like a fraction of a second of an input delay. And we were talking about this last week on the TurboGrafx stream that I did, and there was something off about everything because I hooked up the TurboGrafx Mini, and there was just a split second of input delay, and it was just like, wow, yeah, you don't get that. Trying to play like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that with precision, and you're getting a little bit of a
The
lag, right?
lag. It's not
Questions,
easy.
guys. We are here for you. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Director himself or the other guy, which is me, please throw it out there. HEC, it's good to see you. HEC chimes in, physical games and movies. I don't want to be beholden to companies taking movies off their platforms when they want, or buying a digital game and the companies stop supporting it.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, license windows is a real thing, right? And that's a huge part of our campaign. Like, this is your chance to own Nintendo 64 Quest on disc, so you can watch it whenever you want. When we sign license deals, they're typically in 2, 3, 5, 7 year increments. But that doesn't mean it's going to be on any specific platform for a year. It usually just goes to a sub licensee and they move it around to whatever channel or platform that you might be subscribed to. So, you know, it might be 2 years on Tubi since it was mentioned, but then it's gone. And 2 years kind of goes by like that, especially with the amount of viewing options we have. But if you've got that game on your shelf and, you know, you're not beholden to something like Game Pass to enjoy something, then you can go play it whenever you want when it strikes your fancy.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There was a new old Marvel fighting game collection that just came out by Capcom last week, and a lot of early reviewers got physical copies, and they opened up the Switch case, and it was just a code. Now, I mean,
Oh, God.
I've dealt with this for years working at GameStop, so I'm kind of used to that. But a lot of people are really angry about that.
Well, those are
Because you
going to be
do-
the collectible ones, right? I remember the last games I got like that were the DuckTales remasters
DuckTales was like
from
that, yeah.
10 years ago, right? It released for every console, but it was just a code inside. And you know, celebratory pin in some instances as well. We just had another backer, Jay. We're at 337 backers, just crossed 45,000 Canadian dollars, 101 minutes to go. Thank you for whoever just joined us.
And a $5 donation has come in from Cutthroat Comics. Once again, thank you, my brother. And he has a question for Rob. Rob, who is the person who scouts out the locations you go to on Nintendo 64 Quest?
So we don't scout the location at all, really, to be honest. When it came to doing this, it was myself and our good friend and producer and production manager, if you will, Nathan Sawyer, who did camera operating as well. We wear many hats making these shows. And we basically built a list. I had created a list of everything, you know, kind of around where we could possibly drive. And we knew we were going to have to pivot. So that list was going to change. But to start out, it was like, okay, here's all the game stores within, you know, a 5-hour driving radius, I think maybe 8 hours. And then kind of just like figuring out where they are, what that route could be, and just calling to see who wants to participate, knowing what we're trying to do. And if we got a yes from them, then it's like, okay, they move on to the next list and they get highlighted. And then we try to plan a route that would take us from this place to this place to this place. But even I don't know what's in these stores when we arrive. I don't even know what they look like, what the lighting is like. It's all part of the experience and I don't know, the magic that makes it what it is.
Hope that answers your question, Cutthroat. Packer says, sucks with all digital media. You're only renting it. Yeah, that was one of my questions, Rob, to a follow-up.
Sure.
With, 2017, we got the Nintendo Mini, then the Super Nintendo, and then all the rest of the other companies fell in line. We got PlayStation Mini. We got Konami, who has rights to Hudson, put out the TurboGrafx Mini. We had PlayStation Genesis.
Yet another iteration of a Genesis Mini.
Yeah, and then of course the Atari Flashback came out again.
Yeah.
Those I didn't mind so much, but it's no secret business-wise that it's way more profitable for someone like Nintendo to just put up their virtual store, and you kind of Netflix the games now. So if you're subscribed to Switch Online, you have access to Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and all this cool stuff. But it's games that they want you to play, so you don't have nearly access to everything. Because I was shocked there was no Pokemon games on the Game Boy store.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like Netflix, right? It's the video game equivalent of Netflix. Play it while it's there. Obviously, the licensing is a little bit different in the world of games, where people that make them have held on to them longer. They weren't licensed to Nintendo. They were licensed for play on Nintendo, but the IP rights never really changed hands, which is why you don't see like a third party, like a Netflix just for games that has Nintendo titles or Sony titles or Xbox titles. Everything kind of is staying in its own home, and they're appearing where they might be. Now, stuff like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, there may have been a licensing deal that had to be worked out for Nintendo to have it on NSO. But other than that, which is pretty extreme, we don't get to see too much of it. It kind of sucks that it's a rent only. Again, further underlying why we need access to the original thing. But that's a lot of work, Jay. That means I got to get up off the couch, and then I got to go over to the store, and I got to find plastic tape.
I mean, jokes aside, dude, like it's shocking how many. There's 364 games in North America. It's shocking to me if you go on the Switch store, there's like 20, maybe 30, and how many I know stuff like Mischief Makers and just odd stuff like that will never show up. Where is it?
Yep,
it's just gone, man. And I think I agree. You said preservation of video games. I agree, and I've been all for that, especially the last say 3 years. Just trying to preserve as much as I can, because I think it's important that a lot of these games just vanish. They're just gone forever, and that's really scary to me too. And I mean, Nintendo holds their stuff under lock and key. They kind of remind me of, remember the old Disney Vault days?
Yeah.
Remember you could buy Snow White for 2 weeks or whatever, and then it would be in the vault again.
It's going back in the vault.
Yeah, like it's really.
But then they got rid of that with Disney Plus, right? Because everything is there more or less.
Yeah.
Everything, not really everything, but a good chunk of it.
A couple of shout outs here. Shout out to Duck Nut. What's up, buddy? I backed the 2-disc DVD with digital access for my extra. Thank you. Appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, man.
Grimsy42, what's up, dude? Just backed the 3-disc boys. It'll look great next to my Nintendo Quest Blu-ray. Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate that support.
What's up, K-Mac? How you doing, dude? So here we go. So this is an interesting topic. Lunith Sparks is emulation for the win. I don't like those subscription services. How do you feel about emulation?
If it's the only way to play it, then that's fine. If it's commercially available, I think you should make the effort to do that.
Yes.
That's kind of like the spirit of entrepreneurship, but because such a small amount of games are available, it's very difficult. And then it becomes, okay, if I want to play this game, but it's only on a Sony console and I don't have a Sony console because I've just got my Switch or something, is it okay to emulate then, because it would cost me $500 to go play it plus whatever? It's areas of gray, right? And then am I really playing the real thing? Because like I said, new hardware is not traditional hardware. When you can get the ROM and play it on a flash cart on original hardware for a more authentic experience. The consensus, there's no right answer.
The consensus used to be in the collector community that as long as you owned a physical copy of Chrono Trigger, let's just use Chrono Trigger, that's like a mid-tier rare game. If you can't get your Super Nintendo to work for whatever reason, then you can emulate it. I don't know who came up with these rules. I think they're like pretty loosey-goosey.
It's like crime.
Right?
It's like democratic crime, right? Like theft by democracy. We're allowed to steal this if my thing doesn't work. Let me just kick it, and then I can take it with me. And if I've got to share the ROM with my friends, then I can do that too.
It's like I never bought Chrono Trigger when it came out. I have it now on Super Nintendo, but whoever got my money, let's just say our good pals at Game Cycle, they got my money for
Game
Chrono
Cycle.
Trigger,
That's
right?
nice.
Right? So they got it. It's not like Square gets the money for it anyway. So I don't know. I
Well,
think
the idea of emulation isn't the problem with it. Isn't that Square's not getting it? It's that you are accessing the IP in a way that it wasn't meant to be accessed, and then also distributing it by taking it from somewhere and copying it to your thing. It's like copying movies and like downloads. You filthy downloaders, the illegal file sharers, same kind of thing. That's the problem with it. It's not the
interesting.
access and experience of it.
Interesting topic. Matt says, what were your first thoughts when the project funded in an hour?
It's a good question, Matt. Jay, you go
Oh,
first on this one.
we
I feel
were
like I've been in the
texting.
hot seat.
We were texting back and forth, Rob and I. He always texts me when it's ready to go live, and I don't know. I know that out of all the stuff that we do, Nintendo Quest is what everyone likes the most. I know that. I don't know. I wasn't afraid it wasn't going to get funded. To be
I
completely
was.
honest, I wasn't. We've had projects that haven't. Well, we had one that didn't. But I didn't think it would be that quickly. So one, it's very flattering. But I mean, we were going to bring out a sequel to Nintendo Quest when it was ready, and we came up with a lot of ideas over the last 10 years, and none of them really felt exactly right. And then you and I had that conversation, or was it 2 years ago or whatever, in January, and it was a good meeting, and we kind of just both decided on that system. I think it was your idea.
I'll take credit.
We went for it, and very humbled. I got another question here. Cutthroat says, Jay, during filming, was there ever a time you felt one of your video game store was overpriced on a game you wanted to buy for this recent quest? Am I allowed to answer that?
I think that there was interesting moments in every store we went that both involved price, selection, and where Jay was at in his quest. So I don't think Jay can objectively answer that, because where he was in his quest, it may have been pricey then, but it might not have been pricey if it was earlier or even later. So I think it's kind of hard for Jay to honestly answer that, because it's a bit of a contextual thing.
Chad wants to know, does Meldo make an appearance?
Yeah, I mean, the spirit of Meldo follows us forever.
I thought a certain Chad and a certain Nathan were supposed to get certain tattoos about a certain cursed little ghost person. I don't know. What happened to that, by the way? Is that still a thing? Are you guys still going to do that?
Let's put a pin in it, like Chad showing up at PowerCon, like me being able to film his collection. It's just waiting for the right time.
What's up, Danjamin? How you doing? We got Ghetto. What's up, Ghetto? What are you doing on Facebook, buddy? Good to see you.
What's up?
Packer says, curious what your holy grail game item is for this project. Well, the holy grail for the 64s is a game called Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut.
But we weren't exactly like most stoked to see that. Like we had talked about, what game can you not wait to see when we find it? What do we hope we see? And as much as that was like the big, bad, hard to get, like most rare, expensive one, we were talking about other games.
In fact, it's not really wrecking anything. We come across one of our favorite games pretty much the first day. And I was telling Rob, I was a little bummed, even though this game is extremely common. I was a little bummed out because we have such a history with Perfect Dark. So I was kind of like, man, I just, I wanted to kind of chase that a little bit. But in terms of the Holy Grail Packers, it's called Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. It was a 3D clay animation fighting game that was a Blockbuster exclusive rental. So you could rent it from Blockbuster, but you could not buy it unless they were dumping their stock. You know how they sold all their old movies and stuff, and you happened to be there the day they were selling it. Otherwise, it was not for sale to the general public. And holy mackerel, look at this guy.
That's weird.
Ghetto. Buddy, thank you so much, dude.
That's
Much
awesome.
love. Wow.
Look at that community support. I appreciate it.
Ghetto
Thank you
with
so
the
much.
$50. Oh. Thank you, my friend. Much love. Get well, Jay. Mad love for everything you do for our retro communities. Oh, thanks, buddy. Can do it without you guys, you know that. And I can do it without this guy to my right. Well, Rob, whatever way he is. He's
Hi, I'm over here.
Yeah. I got zero. Good to see you, buddy.
I got some questions for you, I guess.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Well, we'll stick to the quest since we're counting down the minutes. So we do have 89 minutes, 337 backers, $45,062 Canadian. I'm pretty sure you can answer this one. What was the most unexpected thing that happened on the quest, Jay? You knew you were going to buy games. You knew you were going to have tough choices. You knew the grind of the quest was going to catch up with you at some point. But what was the most unexpected things that you never thought was going to happen?
I can say it without spoiling it.
Okay.
But I will definitely say the end.
I love it.
The end is
so good.
Something I never expected. And then we'll just leave it at that. Look at this lovely lady in the chat right now. Lisa. Good to see you. She went into the oldies with me.
Lisa. Sorry, you're under the weather, Lisa.
Good to see you. And congrats on Mython the Python, by the way, for launching his YouTube channel. Can't wait to check out your stuff, dude. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for sending the nice messages. Just checking in while at work. Congratulations on this endeavor. And thank you for championing the cause for helping people with Alzheimer's. Continued positive vibes for complete recovery. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm going to jump in there since it was brought up. Alzheimer's and dementia. Of course, this quest isn't just for Jay collecting on his shelf like it was for Nintendo Quest, where he was in pursuit of his dream. This time, Jay's fronting the cash to try to acquire all 296 games in 14 days. No online purchases. You guys know the deal. But then the idea was to raffle off the carts with all proceeds after Jay recoups his costs going to support the Alzheimer's Society, which is something near and dear to both Jay and I. And Jay very specifically has had a lot of encounters with that, unfortunately, I say, but great people who helped shepherd his mom through the tough times, and also Jay himself and his other family members. And it's been really great to see so many people reaching out, thanking us that have experienced Alzheimer's and dementia in some capacity, knowing how hard that is and appreciating that somebody wants to do something to try to stop it in its tracks and make it easier so others don't have to suffer the same issues, ailments, concerns, life cycle, span, all of that stuff. So I appreciate that people are super vocal about this.
Look, I gotta apologize, guys. As you can see, I'm sweating. Like there's no tomorrow.
I love it.
I'm sorry, but
it's because there's 86 minutes left, and you just can't handle it.
I'm sick as an absolute dog. I apologize. It's disgusting. I'm a pig. You can make fun of me all you want. I'll give my lips. Go ahead. Okay, where were we? Hey, 89 Sigma, what's going on? Hey guys, I'm glad that I got Mighty Final Fight this past July. Congrats to you.
Wicked.
That's great. That's a great game. It's almost as good as the actual game. Matt says, Rob, look, you got this one. Being limited to 14 days, was there any time to actually sit and enjoy finding the rare games that you did? Well,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of time, especially just driving around back and forth, getting excited about not even just the rare games, just games that we played back in the day and found, and where we found them and what we found with them. So all that time leading up to it, what are we going to find? Oh, look at the cool stuff we found. And because this quest was different too, it wasn't 14 straight days. It was like 5 days and 6 days and the 5 days, so that there'd be some pivoting around so that we could focus the quest in a different direction to help Jay and ultimately to help the Alzheimer's Society. Because if it was just 14 days and it put Jay in a spot where he couldn't make those choices, then it might limit what we could do for the Alzheimer's Society. So ultimately, there was a lot of time to be able to talk about this. I mean, after the first run of 5 days, we did it late in the fall last year. And then we took the winter off, so we didn't have to deal with traveling before we got back on the road and continued production. So there was a good 5 or almost 6 months there where we were just talking about that first leg.
Jeff Butler, good to see you too, mate. Thanks for hanging out with us. Nunya, I'm not too sure what you're going on about, but it's good to have you here. You like words? That's fine. Hope you're having a good time.
84
okay.
minutes to go, man. 337 backers. Just 84 minutes until you can sweat your head off.
Boobies, peepees, ginies. That's great. So Rob, we talked a lot on our podcasts about the times we shared with friends playing N64. We can get into that. It is a topic we often go into on my streams, but I want to ask you, when you were away from us and still playing N64, what were a few of your favorite solo games? And I want to throw that out to the chat too. A few of your favorite solo games. So, not GoldenEye, Mario Kart, just solo stuff. What did you enjoy on the system?
It's really interesting because the thing I found about the 64 is that I wanted one so bad because we were all having so much fun, only to realize that when I had it, not only did I not have anything more than the single controller, but we were never coming over to my house, and that wasn't ever going to change by design. We were always going to your place or our buddy Ferg's place, and that was kind of just the way it went. So it was like, oh, I got to find another experience with the N64 because I'm going to be playing Mario Kart and Smash and all that with you guys. So one of the games I really got into was Mission Impossible. Win Back was another one. Quest 64 I played when I got my wisdom teeth out. I know it's a big favorite of yours, and I spent extra time spotlighting in the series just to scratch that itch. In fact, if you watch the series, and this happens a lot of the time, when Jay comes across a game of note, we'll do a cutaway in a side where we drop information about what the game is, some of the little backstories, if it's rare and collectible, how common it is, and show art and show screenshots and any related games that if it's part of a series. And for Quest 64, I spent twice as long talking about it, not because it deserved any extra attention, but just to bother Jay because he knows how much I like it.
Matt, I don't know if I can drop a link in the chat, but
I probably can.
You can try it, Rob. Here it is right here.
Kickstarter.
All right, get it. We'll be here, buddy.
You might have to copy and paste it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. It doesn't usually let you do stuff like that.
And people in the chat might have to copy and paste it. But if you go to Kickstarter.com and simply type in Nintendo 64 Quest, it'll pop up.
Jay, did you do the collecting during or after the pandemic? I apologize for asking. Don't ever apologize for asking, my friend. Well, we shot Action Figure Adventure Season 2 during the pandemic, but this one was shot over the last year. So no, this one was not during the pandemic. Yeah,
2024.
Yeah. Oh yeah, drop the link. So okay, Jet. So you say Tony Hawk was a good one. So Rob played Mission Impossible.
Tony Hawk for sure. Wrestling was in there too, but it wasn't the same, right? It wasn't the same. Tony Hawk would have been definitely one that I played as well.
I will say, yeah, I mean, I used to do Perfect Dark multiplayer by myself because you could use bots. That was a ton of fun.
Yep. Guilty of that for sure. 100%. I had Ocarina time, and that was a fun experience.
Yeah, that was great. Oh, Den says Rogue Squadron, Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, Shadows.
Oh my God. Rogue Squadron, 1,000,000%. 100,000,000% Rogue Squadron.
That says Beetle Adventure Racing. Yeah.
Yep, that too.
The wrestling games are the ones I had the most fun with, especially WrestleMania 2000. Yeah. I don't know how, Matt, I got turned on to that first WCW game on 64. It was really cool because it was a cross between like real wrestlers and they had a bunch of made up wrestlers. And then there was the Revenge one after that. The Revenge one is what not only got us back into playing wrestling, but we started watching wrestling again because during that time, the Ted Turner era, that's when all the guys that we grew up with they weren't in WWF anymore. Now they're in WCW, right? So now we had Hogan and Macho Man, all those guys. Plus you had Sting and all that. So it was really, really awesome. But Rob, you guys, you and Ferg and Mike, you guys actually kept watching long after I stopped. You guys were watching DX and that whole Attitude Era. That was something I never was a part of.
Yeah, that was all before WrestleMania 2000, right?
Yep.
So that
Yep.
was like mid 90s. You know, you got to remember Shawn Michaels and Triple H fighting Mike Tyson, I think was like 96,
Really?
95, 96, 97, somewhere in there. I'm sure someone will correct me, and that's totally fine. But that's when it started. And then DX as an actual faction, because of the NWO, copied DX, which was just the clique. That's when it happened after, and that's where it led into all the faction wars.
Dave, I don't know if I saw you come in, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you, man. Loved Beetle Adventure Racing, buddy Daredevil Dave. Real, of course. I know. Yeah, you showed us your Conquer stuff when we were on your show, man. Just awesome. There's not a lot of Conquer stuff out there too. I have that little Tutaku, but that's based off of the Xbox One. Fantasia says Iron and Blood. Yeah, that's a good one.
Too sweet.
89 Sigma. The ones that I played the most were Super Smash Brothers, Mario 64, and Banjo. Banjo. Clanka. Remember Clanka?
Oh, yeah.
The old Clank. Wolfpack, yeah. HCC, big wrestling fan.
Absolutely. Look at his big boss man profile pic there too.
And Akeem, right?
Ray Trailer, right? That's he eventually just changed his name to Ray Trailer, the big boss man, I think. I got something for you, Jay. Here's a question for you. Describe the vibe of production for N64 Quest, versus Nintendo Quest or anything. What was that like this time? Because it's not the first rodeo we had done. AFA Season 1 and 2, and of course, Nintendo Quest. What was similar, different, or I don't know, just talk about it.
The crew was a little smaller, I think just by one person. Without giving anything away, it was just different. I was a lot more comfortable myself. Where the first one was the first Nintendo Quest is the first time I've really been in front of the camera for anything. So I was very uncomfortable, and especially going into a retail environment and trying to haggle. I'm still not comfortable with it, but I'm a little bit better. So just seeing just how different I was in terms of my nerves and how confident I was. But there is a difference between 700 games and 300 games.
Also different time limit, though.
Different time limit, different feeling.
Like the actual production, like the cameras, and so we're going here, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. I mean, because you're a little bit more seasoned and used to the circus.
Very, very similar. It was a lot quicker. The setups were a lot faster. So we are in the production van. We pull up to whatever store, whatever location we're at. The producer goes in and Rob goes in, and I stay outside, usually with one or two of the camera guys before they have to go in and set up. So I always have to stay outside because it's live, right? My reactions are real, and so I can't go in there obviously while they're setting up because then I get to look at everything. So that part was all the same. The same with Action Figure Adventure. It's the same setup, and it's one that I enjoy because that's my alone time when I get to sit there. And I try not to do, Rob, is think about it being on TV or anything like that, because then I get in my own head.
Sure.
So I'm really a lot better since Action Figure Adventure Season 1 of just like forgetting about all that stuff. And honestly, excuse me, I don't even know the camera. I don't even know the cameras are there.
I can tell. That's evident.
Yeah, like before I was
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, it's good.
Before I was very like worried about where they were, and now it's like, it's not my job to worry about that, so I just gotta go. And I think my movements are a lot more natural.
You're more camera friendly because I'll be like, okay, open up, make sure we can see your face instead of turning your back to camera. That's good. I say similar. What was it like when you got to watch the series all the way through for the first time? Because you've seen everything, and there have been some minor changes, and it's been audio mixed and color corrected, or in the process of those things. But what was that like this time versus watching other things? No pressure.
It's always enjoyable to see your work because I think you're an incredible filmmaker.
Oh shucks.
And to see that level is really cool. You know, the stuff with me, like, it doesn't bother me like it used to. Like, I never used to like to watch me being on camera and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me now. So this stuff with me is hilarious. I like it when we screw up and we joke and you keep it in. Like, I don't know, there's
a couple of those moments.
There's like a bird or something this time. Every one of these that we've done, guys, Action Figure Adventure, Nintendo Quest, there's always been some kind of weird thing that's happened. Like the sign that flew hit me in the face, like during Action Figure Adventure. It's cool to see that stuff. You know, we're sitting there talking about Storm Shadow and G.I. Joe and everything is really serious. And then all of a sudden this sign will come and like smack you in the face or whatever.
Well, I mean, Luna Spark here says it's definitely more real than stuff like American Pickers and Pawn Stars. And that's the kind of stuff that sticks in there to make it feel real. I want, especially with this series compared to Nintendo Quest, which is 90 minutes, 30 days and 90 minutes. I really wanted people to feel like they were in the store with you, and we'd had long takes and they can feel the tension and the silence, and it wasn't wall-to-wall music. And if there was music, that it would just emphasize the emotional drive of what's going on, so that if somebody's talking to you off camera, you might stop talking to me and go, yeah, we'll be there in a second. Or like the camera's, you know, trying to get focused, and there might be just a little bit of that, so that it's not all polished and it doesn't feel fake. It's there in the moment. And hey, 72 minutes, 338 backers now, $45,273, which translates to 33,335 American dollars. Thank you all for coming on board. You guys rock.
Hell yeah. And Ghetto wants us to know he's going to be in the credits. Appreciate that. Our buddy Ghetto, an amazing collector from Cali.
Wicked. Nice.
Awesome,
whereabouts in Cali? 338. That's you. Wicked. Thanks, brother.
Much
Let us know in
appreciate that.
Cali where you are, and we'll see if we can figure that out.
I'm trying to get him to come up here for the screening, for the London screening. Almost had him. You're talking
Well, here's
to your
the cool
wife.
thing.
Ghetto.
You know, we're talking about screenings. World premieres obviously November 2nd. We can get to the details a little bit later. But on Kickstarter, there is an option to host a screening as well, which is pretty cool. And we have one backer for that. And I can confirm, I don't know when, but there will be a screening of Nintendo 64 Quest in Las Vegas, Nevada, thanks to our good friends at Retro City Games. So look forward to that.
Joshua says, I just watched the Nintendo Quest last week and really enjoyed it. Nintendo 64 Quest popped up instantly. I'm really interested to see this one. And it's for an amazing cause. Well done. Thank you, Joshua.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it and jumping on board for the sequel here, my friend. I do not think you will be disappointed. What do you think about that? You've seen the whole series. You were saying that you like my work and that you like when I leave weird things in there, but what did you think of the whole thing? And I guess maybe to compare it to Nintendo Quest, because maybe people don't know what they're getting.
Well, so the first one we did, Nintendo Quest, was a lifelong dream I wanted to fulfill of getting an entire North American Nintendo collection. Then we took a few years and we got into the toys, and I was working through my work with the Children's Health Foundation. So we decided to take everything we found, auction them off, and donate to Children's Health, which was great because that's, you know, it was a charity that I worked with for a long time. And then Mom got sick. And so I asked Rob if we could change the charity to Alzheimer's. And he said, of course, dude, whatever you want. So this one was, out of all three, the most personal for me. So there's a weight to that. That combined with how much that system means to us and our friends and us growing up, by far my favorite. It's by far my favorite out of the three that we've done. I think it's awesome. I think it was a very smart choice on your part to make it into a series so we can spend more time with the hunter in the store, and we can also see a lot more of those lovely segments that you craft.
The Hunter.
Call me the Hunter.
Which is what
Packers,
you would always say while playing GoldenEye in Perfect Dark.
Packers has a question for you, Rob. What's your biggest
Sure.
inspiration to pursue filmmaking? Was it a particular film or director or both? How young did you realize it? Cheers.
Well, I've always been obsessed with movies, like always. And I was the kind of person that would watch the same movie over and over and over again, always, even from a young age. I'd want to go to the movie theater and see the same one twice, or rent the same tape from the store every weekend to watch it. So the love for films has always been there. I started making movies to get out of doing like oral presentations in class. And the first 3 shorts that I made were all just like Evil Dead ripoffs, but in French. So I didn't have to write a story out in French and then speak in front of the class. Now, the French that's spoken in the film isn't anything great by any means, but the teacher knew that it would be more effort to make a film, so she let me do that. And in so doing that and being able to share that, not only the process of making it, but sharing it with an audience, was just like, oh wow, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life. So that would have been in grade 10 or 11. And then at the same time, you feed into the fact that it's the 90s indie filmmaking renaissance with like Tarantino and Kevin Smith and Richard Linklater, and these people that are making films about pop culture and on like super realistic budgets that, you know, are attainable. They're not $200 million features. They're like $5 million or $5,000 in the case of like El Mariachi. It's like, hey, there could be something here. And that's when I started making my own films as well.
Have you found any stores that you'd like to visit but were outside of your reach? Oh yeah, dude.
There's always tons. That's the worst part about like Facebook and the internet. Like, oh my God, look at that store.
And we happen to be really in a really great area, Matt, as you know, from just the few that Will and I have visited. They're everywhere. And when Rob was looking at, or sorry, when Nathan was looking at the stores, we thought we found like most of them. And then when Will and I started looking them up, there's this like, it's like double or triple, man. We're so fortunate to have so many great toy and video game stores in Ontario where we are. So we're blessed.
Yeah, I would say that when we did our initial list for this, there was somewhere between 40 and 50 stores within a 5-hour driving radius of where we are. And we missed some that you and Will have discovered.
Wifey just gave me the Vegas green light. Oh, let's go.
I love this.
Let's go.
I love this. I love that I'm meeting you here and that I'll see you there.
N64 was always better with friends than solo. Yep, Joshua, I agree. And I mean, it's like everything. I mean, we play online games.
Isn't everything better with
right?
friends?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the people. It really is all about the people.
Like I remember playing like Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on SNES with friends, like just hanging out, passing the controller back and forth between quests and missions and stuff. And even Mario 64 with you, Jay. Those are single player games, but still be able to play them with somebody else is way more fun than sitting by yourself doing it.
Grimsy asks, not sure if you said it yet. Is there a fulfillment date for the series, Rob?
Oh, that's a very good question. Well, the cool thing is backers, anybody that gets in on the Kickstarter campaign is going to have digital access in November, if all goes well, where we'll release an episode every week until all 14, again, not 13, 14 episodes are out. So that's like a 3-month, because 14 episodes, 14 weeks. You're going to get that. As far as the discs, there's a bit of a delay now because we crossed another stretch goal that sees every disc style, DVD, 2-disc, 3-disc Blu-ray, get unique art. So it's not just the same cover. More fun, more collectible that way. So we're developing the art for that. And as soon as that's done, then we can print them. But as far as the actual series itself, when is it going to be able to watch? Really soon. I think I'm on color correction for the last 2 episodes, and the audio mixes we're on episode 11, I think 10 or 11, and we're going about 2 per week on that. So before the end of September, everything will be audio mixed and certainly color corrected, and that means I'm just waiting on the backer names for the end credits. And I've said that a couple times in our Kickstarter updates. When this is done, people will have 1 week to give me their names for inclusion in this, and if they don't, I'm just going to use their Kickstarter handle. But if you're backing at a tier that gets your name in the end credits, either as just a backer or as an associate producer, and there aren't many of those left, then I need to know what your name is so I can put it in there, cement the file, christen it with a big smash of champagne, send it out to the printer, and be done with it, you know?
I think it's pretty cool that you can get your name in it. I'm just saying. It's pretty cool. That's the kind of rewards that I always like in Kickstarters. So I think that's awesome. K-Max says I played racing games every day after high school with my friends. Yeah, dude. That was so Rob and I, we did with our friends Mike and Ferg, Andrew, Kelly. We did GoldenEye, of course. We did Mario Kart, Mario Party, kinda. Star Fox was another one that we would. It was very easy to beat Star Fox. You'd do it in like 15 minutes, and it was one that we would hand the controller back and forth to. But that was another one that really stuck. I think because the Rumble Pack was pretty new, right? So it's pretty exciting to play with that one.
Do you remember the last big gaming night of that era? Like, when did that whole era end for you? Was it kind of over when you got the PS2 and it was just like those controllers go down?
Extreme Game Hunters, welcome to the stream. What's going on, man? How you doing? I would say, and once again, guys, for those who are tuning in, I apologize. I am pretty sick, so I'm trying to get through this, hence the disgusting sweatiness. But thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, because we had a different group of friends that we played the wrestling in Perfect Dark with than we did the 60 or the Mario Kart. So yeah, that was PS2 was in 2000. So shortly after that, because the PS2 it had 2 ports.
Do you remember taking your Jungle Green 64 and moving it off like the table of consoles, thinking, oh,
the table, the coffee table. I remember that table. Yeah, well, you know what? Luckily, you know, Microsoft created the Xbox, and they hired a little indie company named Bungie that made a game called Halo. That Halo was the last big couch co-op game that we really got into.
No. You're forgetting about something called Guitar Hero, my friend.
Oh, that's a way of life. That's completely different.
That's couch co-op, man.
Rock Band was years. Every weekend for years.
Yeah.
But like I would say, like in terms of like GoldenEye style, it was Halo, hooking up those 3 Xboxes. We never got to 4, but we got 3. And then as we know, 2004, when Xbox Live launched, changed the landscape of multiplayer forever. And that was kind of it.
That's true. Yeah.
That's kind of it. Jay, what was your inspiration to become the world famous actor? Well, I hate to correct you, my friend. You know I love you, but I'm not an actor, and that's very evident. If you see, there are some times you got to recreate lines here or there, and it's not good. So
yeah. Well, what was your inspiration to want to do this? I think is the question that Packers was asking you.
Pure passion out of my hobbies. I love pop culture like Rob does. Always loved collecting. Always since I was a kid. When I was a kid.
Is it worth the torture though? I mean, like you don't know what you're signing up for with the original Nintendo Quest.
I was scared because you and I are such clowns when we're together. And this was a real project. This wasn't us making some Dazed and Confused ripoff, right? This was like a real project. I was scared that when you and I got together, I wouldn't be able to stop laughing. Now think about this, guys. When you got the funniest guy ever holding the camera, directing you, I'm not supposed to laugh in an environment where it's essentially one take. You go in like you can't,
which makes you wonder, why am I trying to make you laugh if we can only do this once?
That's what I'm saying is you didn't. There's a few times when we were sleep deprived, I think it got a little wacky, but I'm just glad that we transitioned into that business portion of the friendship. Do you know what I mean? I was nervous. I didn't know if it would work or not.
Sure.
But it does.
Yeah. Final hour, by the way, folks.
Zero fun. It's all business now.
Yeah. Zero fun. It is the final hour. We are still sitting at 338 backers, 45,000 Canadian dollars, 273. I don't know what we're going to get to, Jay. What do you think we're going to end up at? Do you think we're going to get a couple more backers in before this hour is up? Final hour. What do you think?
I think so. I think we are.
If I had to make a guess, I would hope that we could get to 345 backers. I don't know what that amount is going to translate to because there's a lot of variance there. But if we get, let's just say 350, if we could get to 350 backers, that's only 12 more people in the final hours. That would be wicked.
One
I'd
sec,
go
Rob.
home.
Give me like 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here now talking to myself by myself. So yeah, here we are doing all this. Thanks for coming out to this. I can still see everything in the comments. Cutthroat Comics, I can't highlight you. You want to know, Jay, do you ever have to do voiceovers due to the microphone not picking up your voice during the filming of N64 Quest? No, we don't do any ADR with Jay at all. The closest we do are the cutaways, in which Jay will be like in his living room or his collection, and we'll talk about what's going on in the scene, and we add it in there for additional context so you know how Jay's feeling about something. But that's as close as we get to perfecting what happened in there. We're pretty good with audio. There's a few times in this series where there's a bit of mic interference, like RF hits, where there's a bit of static, so you might hear like the camera mics switch back and forth and mix that way. I think 1 or 2 times our camera mics or batteries died on us, but other than that, it's been a pretty seamless experience production wise.
I want to ask everybody in the chat what your favorite color Nintendo 64 console is.
Oh,
maybe,
my goodness.
Maybe we should do a poll, Rob. Here,
can you do a poll? Is that possible?
Oh yeah, I got a poll up right now, and the poll is this, Rob. Let's party like it's 1996, 1996, 2003, or 2011. And the winner is, of course, 1996 by 48%. Let's go.
Yeah. I wanted this campaign to end on September 29th so that it would have been exactly 28 years since the N64 launch, but I didn't think society and social media could handle just one more week of our Kickstarter campaign.
Rob, give me 4 Nintendo 64 colors that are your favorite, and then we'll put the poll up. Yeah, YouTube allows you for 4 slots. Give me 4.
Gold.
Yep.
Jungle green.
Yep.
Ice blue.
Ice blue. Okay.
Fire orange.
Okay, so
other people are going to want smoke. Other people are going to want watermelon red or grape.
There you go. So we got 4 up for Mr. McCallum. What's your favorite N64 console color, guys? So gold, jungle green, ice blue, or fire orange. Get your votes in.
Atomic purple was just the controller, right? Otherwise, I would have definitely said that should have been a choice too. That's a beautiful, beautiful controller.
Matt,
I wish that when they released that console, though, that wasn't just the one controller that was that way, that both controllers included were atomic purple, because the whole idea with the 64 was that everybody can play, but when you start doing here's the one fancy special colored one, you create division. What's up with that, Nintendo?
Got a random question for you.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you and I used to buy many video game magazines. Did you ever let any of the journalists sway your decision on reviews? So did reviewers back then make a difference as to if you were going to rent or buy a game?
I definitely think it played a role, but I don't think it was the end all and be all. I think it was just maybe like a 25%, kind of like, oh, well, that's interesting. The review number itself was always seemingly more important than the words. So if somebody gave it a 4.5 out of 10, regardless of what they're writing, that would always kind of stick with me. But I was still always swayed by screenshots, 1-page ads that were in magazines, special look at upcoming games before it was out, so that the review wasn't even a thing. That's kind of where I was. And thankfully, that was the era, at least for 64, where you could rent games ahead of time. And even NES, right? You weren't like commanded to buy something like somehow we got into in the 2000s, right? For a while, there's new games coming out. We're just buying them without even checking the reviews. At least I was.
Yeah,
initially.
The same. Raj says, when they make the Hollywood movie of your documentary, we'll expect they will hire Henry Cavill to play Jay and Chris Hemsworth to play Rob.
I think that would be the oddest couple of gamer-looking people going out on the road.
Raj, can Brad Pitt play me, please? Is that okay?
I think Zach Galifianakis would look a little bit more like me.
Zach Galifianakis, yeah. Real says I bought the extra atomic purple controller to go with my system recently. Do you remember Real back in the day? And everyone in the chat, you remember anyone who had brothers and sisters will know this. If you got the atomic purple set, I feel sorry for any parents who bought that for their kids.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, right?
Everyone would be going after that purple. I don't want the gray one. I want the atomic purple.
Yeah.
Gives you extra powers. Did different color controllers really make a difference to you?
Yes, 100%. Same with different colored consoles. 1,000,000%. In the same way that the NES Max and Advantage was cooler to play with from time to time for the NES era.
Just talking about different colored regular controllers.
But what I'm saying, I know that those controllers, the Max and the Advantage, did different things, but there was an aesthetic change that was appealing above and beyond the standard release. Therefore, it felt more special. And because there was so many colors, you could really gravitate towards the thing that meant something to you or the thing that you like. So it was reflective of who you are now. And you weren't just being given something told to play with. You got to choose.
I was just looking at before we went live, I was just on eBay. I love checking eBay, and I was looking at stuff from Astrobot, a new game that came out, and I saw the controller for Astrobot, and in that same listing, I saw a PS5 controller for Concord, which is going for like almost 400 Canadian dollars. And none of that stuff, I don't care about any of that stuff, but back then, man, especially with the 64, it was almost like your gaming identity. I would come over with the yellow controller, which is the closest to gold as you could get. We didn't know where to get the gold one at the time. So I had a yellow one. So-and-so had green. So-and-so had red. And that was really cool. But as the years went on, I found I cared less and less about the different color schemes for the controllers. That'd be fair to say.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, today I don't mind things, that they're getting skinned or colored or branded. I think that's cool. I think it's far more common and less special. I mean, do you remember when PS4 came out? Like every other week for every franchise game, there was a new skinned PS4.
Yeah.
And that all started with the 64 era when it wasn't just a monochromatic piece of plastic that played video games. Right? All of a sudden, it's something special. It's like, oh, cool, the special edition of this.
He likes to build PCs and you. Oh, nice, man! I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think Hemsworth plays D&D and stuff as well. I'm just saying, those two like 6.5 foot muscle bound guys playing Jay and I. That's real interesting.
Rob, do your kids have the same passion as you and Jay have for video games?
Well, my son is almost 10 and my daughter's 6.5, so there's an age difference for sure. My son loves gaming. Like he'll play games and try to break them, and like for Breath of the Wild, he just loves cooking as Link, and that's how he wants to play that game. Explore Hyrule, pretend to be a bokoblin, and just steal their stuff and cook, and that's where he gets his passion. Yet he doesn't like stuff like Animal Crossing. He loves Stardew Valley, but there's something satisfying for him to play Zelda that way. My daughter loves like stuff like Mario Kart and more mobile games. I would say that she's really into that kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, they're into games I could talk about forever.
Anyone here experience loaning out a game to a friend when you were younger only to never see it again? Pretty sure I've lost dozens of games that way. Packers, dude. Yes.
That's why I wrote that's why I had my grandpa write my name on the back of my NES games. That way I knew which were mine and my friends knew which were mine too. Hey guys, we're at 339 backers now.
Let's go.
$45,321 Canadian funds with 50 minutes to go.
We talked about last week how I brought those baseball cards to my geography class, and that grade 12 kid stole my Roger Clemens rookie. In grade 10, I brought Super Mario Brothers 3 just because it was brand new in 1990, and I remember I just wanted to have it, hold it. I brought it to school to show everybody, and I remember this guy, and his name's Ron, you scumbag, wherever you are. And I remember he's like, "Oh, can I see that?" He was, of course, like a couple years older than me. He's like, "Oh, cool. I'm just gonna borrow this for the weekend." And I remember it's just like this big guy. I remember gonna get in a fight with the guy. He was gonna take my game, man. And my
Wow.
buddy Mike, my buddy Mike and my buddy Skylar came up and just like, hey, you want to pop in the mouth? Give Bartlett his game back. That's how it was back then, man. So yes, Packers, I've been there lots of times.
That's amazing. I
Wow.
used to bring my manuals to school and read those
Yeah.
at recess and stuff. It was pretty innocent. Nobody really cared because they were black and white, right? Other than the logo on the front of like an NES manual or something. It's pretty easy. Nobody really cared. Like under the radar. 340 backers now. Look at that. We're at $45,442. 340 backers. Can we get 10 more backers in 49 minutes to hit our supposed no stakes goal of 350? That would be fun.
So in 2015, when Nintendo Quest launched, we had the pleasure, Rob and myself and the crew, of touring the film around North America, and we got to go to most of the cities that we shot in, and we got to screen it at these different cities. And Rob and I thought it would be a really cool idea to kind of just document the whole thing. I didn't think it was meant to be anything more than just us to have those memories, but Rob turned it into a series called the Nintendo Quest Power Tour, which a lot of people, Rob, don't know what this is. What is it exactly?
Well, that's just it. It flew under the radar for a long time, and in some territories, you don't get to see the 2-hour version of Nintendo Quest or the 90-minute version. You get to see 13 episodes because I recut Nintendo Quest into 4 episodes, and then you see 9 episodes of the Power Tour because it's easier to sell something that's 13 episodes. And it's Jay and I touring the finished film around, but it's not just like, hey, here we are at a theater, though that's certainly in there, and you get the reactions to people seeing it for the very first time. Him and I are a bit of challengers against each other, combatants. Game questing combatants, where he has a list of games that he hopes to get before the end of the summer, the end of the tour, and so do I. He's got 10 and I got 10, and we don't know what's on each other's list. So there could be same games, could be wildly different, but we're at the mercy of whatever's in the store. Whoever finishes their list first wins the Power Tour.
So this elusive, this is kind of like our Incesticide album, kind of. It's like our elusive record that not a lot of people know it exists, kind of thing. But we actually have episode 1 that we'd like to share with you guys. Now, keep in mind, this is from the year 2015. Rob's going to give you a bit of backstory to where we are before we start this off here.
Yeah, and I should say it does not have the budget that Nintendo Quest had, but we made it work. If you do want to see the Power Tour, actually, you know what? If we get 10 more backers and we get 350 backers, I'll put the Power Tour in the original Nintendo Quest as part of the bonus features for everybody that supports Nintendo 64 Quest. You guys will get that. So there we go. Now we have a reason communally to get to 350 backers. But as Lunith Spark is about to say, here's the Vinegar Syndrome release of Nintendo Quest that just came out a few months ago. And for the first time in 10 years, on disc 2 of Nintendo Quest is the Power Tour. It hadn't been released physically other than like 100 discs or so that we first released just to kind of make it and get it out there physically. It hasn't been out there before physically at all. But I will give it to everybody digitally, which is the only way to watch it because it's not on YouTube. It's not anywhere else. And if it is other places, it won't be there for long. So let's get 10 more friends. Who's got 10 friends that can tell about the campaign that haven't backed it? Again, they can back it for $19. It's great.
Mr. Butler says, I'm your latest backer. My mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's last year, so I feel for this, and I'm super glad to support this for Jay, Rob, and all affected by Alzheimer's. Mr. Butler, I love you, buddy. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm sorry to hear that you're connected to this cause, but you understand what we're up against, and so we do this for you.
Okay, well, let's go through this. We'll pause it like any kind of good reactors.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, episode 1. We're in Los Angeles. Where we're premiering the film in Beverly Hills at a screening studio that Emoto, who became a longtime camera operator with us and producer, first met us, which is fantastic. 341 backers now, Jay. 9 more to go.
All right.
And everybody gets the Power Tour and Nintendo Quest as part of being a backer.
So here is the Nintendo Quest Power Tour from 2015 and just a couple of London, Ontario kids screening in Beverly Hills. What? I still don't know how that happened.
So guys, we've been talking about it forever. Nintendo Quest is finally done, and we're taking it on the road in something that we affectionately call the Nintendo Quest Power Tour.
Yeah. It's Nintendo Challenge we were telling you about.
It's an 8-bit road trip. He's on a mission to get his hands on all the Nintendo games ever made.
So Nintendo Quest was a film that Rob made where he shot me going across North America.
how young we
collecting
look.
All the retail release NES games in
It's
only
crazy.
30 days, no online purchases.
It was nonstop, morning to midnight, video games, video games, video games.
It was the journey of a lifetime. It was exciting. It was terrifying at the same time. We were just making a fun documentary, more or less, a love letter to Nintendo, if you will. And something happened along the way that just changed. We started to get this following of people, and we were getting all these messages from all these fans. I couldn't believe that we had fans.
You got 30 days to collect almost 700 games.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the whole collection process.
I'm curious to see how the adventure turns out for Jay and Rob.
State to state.
The origin story of the Cobra hoodie guy.
That's hilarious.
I think that Cobra hoodie's made it into all three. I think all four.
Province to province.
For some reason, it just makes some weird.
If you want me to stop,
tickly
Rob, you're just gonna have
sensation
to
in my
say it.
mind.
Oh no, please, please.
It's
There's
gonna be a really
trauma.
cool movie. I can't wait to see it.
So now here we are. The Joshua, film thank is you very much, my finally friend. done, and we get to tour it across North America. Cheers, buddy.
LA, Las Vegas, Austin, Houston, Cleveland, Columbus, Du Bois, Edmonton, Portland, and of course our hometown of
Here's
London,
our tour
Ontario.
dates. I wake up and I think, wow, is this?
This is also the
really
trailer for the
happening?
Power
This is a
Tour
life-changing event.
that we
It's
used to tell people where the
monumental.
screening
It's-
was, which is why I
it's
just put it at
changed
the
me as a
beginning.
person in every conceivable
Metallica
way.
Cave.
It's all coming at you. Nintendo Quest Power Tour.
I think this Power Tour is going to be. I just got to shout out. Oh my God. I got to shout out that Old Republic poster in the background, guys, from my old house. That was from a bus stop in Los Angeles. That thing is huge. I still have it downstairs. It's like 40 by 80 or something stupid. Like 100% rock and roll.
Real
Shout out
Spoilers
to-
wants to know what
what's
was
gonna
our favorite
happen.
stop
This
on the
is gonna
Power
be
Tour and why.
Oh, I'm not buzzing on there. What was our favorite stop on the Power Tour?
I know. Without question.
Can I can you leave it with me? Rob can answer though.
I love going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland was a lot of fun. We were there as part of an expo, and it was just fun. We actually had the most fun game hunting there. We saw incredible games as well, but it wasn't the pressure of any of the other cities, and it was just Jay and I. We didn't bring any of the other people there. We didn't visit Cleveland on the tour like in the original Nintendo Quest either. So we wanted to, but it didn't really pan out. So it was just really fun being there, and Jay and I just got really to kind of let our hair down for the first time all summer long, where we weren't like doing a bunch of events and a bunch of PR and promo and stuff. So it was fun. It wasn't a huge time commitment for the day. It was good.
We got to go to the Christmas Story house at night. That was the
Yeah.
best, man. And it is in Cleveland. We went there just as the sun went down, and there was nobody there, which made it obviously so much more special, right? So Rob and I had that whole street, and we just got to look at the house, and we got to go across the street and look at the plaque, and it was just awesome. KOTOR was the greatest.
Yeah, 341 backers, 41 minutes. Let's go.
All right, here we go. LA 2015.
World premieres tonight, buddy.
Oh my God.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
I asked Rob to put that in there because we're such fans of Fear and Loathing that I freaked out that when there was a Barstow sign. So I asked Rob, like, dude, please shoot that. And I think he made fun of me, but he finally put it in. Shout out to Rob McCallum.
Yeah?
Where are we?
We're on Barstool, on the edge of the desert.
We're in Barstow.
This is special for you and I because we're huge fans of Fear and Loathing. So we've been driving through all this stuff. So yeah, we stopped here and we're just getting fueled up, getting ready for a long day of shooting. And the premiere tonight.
Are you nervous about the showing?
I'm excited. I'm excited to show our hard work to everybody finally.
Jay and I have a really busy day ahead that includes game hunting and signing our DVD covers for Kickstarter. But first, we got to get to Los Angeles. Wow!
World 8.
And this is the seeds of turning Nintendo Quest into an actual TV show, right? And essentially the seeds for action figure adventure. So this is all, well, it was an under the radar series and is getting out there now thanks to Vinegar Syndrome and what hopefully we'll do if we get 9 more backers in 39 minutes. This is the seeds of how an episode could go.
And this, like, I love California. I was only there for 2 days, I think, at the most. I absolutely love it. And for anyone who's been to California, there was nothing more California than this store. I don't know. It's just hard to explain. And wait till you see some of the games that we have on our lists. I think you'll be shocked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This place, eh? Pretty sweet, man.
Very sweet, man.
World 8's an awesome store in LA on Vermont near Olympic. They've been in business since 2001, catered to both retro and current gen crowds, and is family owned. Boasting Amiibo and Smash tournaments, I guarantee you'll feel right at home in World 8.
Well,
Ninja Gaiden 3.
We'd see these again.
See that?
Stack of NES carts. What is the first thing that goes through your head when you see all these NES carts stacked up like this?
Thank God I don't have to do that again.
Okay, so pause it here, Jay. So one of the questions I had for you is because at this point, we were really sick of seeing Nintendo cartridges, NES cartridges.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way about Nintendo 64 tapes?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No. Yeah, and I can't wait till it comes out so it can fully explain why. But they're just different pressures, different reasons why. I'm okay with the tender tapes now.
Okay.
Jeff says, Jay, if you can fly into Chicago one day, I'll drive you on my personal John Hughes location tour. Houses and locations from Home Alone, Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains. Oh, dude, that would be sick.
Dude, I'm there. I think I have to go to Chicago a few times this year. Let's do it, man. Give me the tour.
Thanks, Jeff. That would be great.
Home
Chicago was
Alone has
also where
right
they
now.
shot Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
The bridges, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Ghetto, you must have been to this store, right? See it. Listen to me, right? It's like when someone says, "Well, you live in Canada, so you must have been to."
Well, he's close.
You live in California, Ghetto. You must have been to this place, right?
I mean, who knows if it's still
This
open,
makes
right?
me feel like it takes me right back. You know what I mean? Like I have that feeling of
boys in LA.
anxiety and stress,
I
kind
got the
of.
same feeling. I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about the 30-day marathon leading up of course, the Nintendo Quest premiere tonight.
Do you know what's
Just
funny
always
is that
plugging.
my
I'm always
rarity
just
radar
plugging.
is going off right now, and it's kind of like Predator vision. All I can see is this.
Ninja Gaiden 3. Okay.
Yeah, because that's like the one.
Oh, look at that, baby! Castlevania 3, Ninja Gaiden 3, and Yoshi.
One. I mean, obviously, I don't need Ninja Gaiden 3, but
But
you know what I mean? Like
they
it's
have it
like
at $60,
it's
so
like, right there.
boom, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
one
right
that
there.
stands out. Yeah, the Dracula's Curse caught my eye.
Actually, the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country is like kind of standing out.
Final
for me.
Fantasy 3, Mega
Why?
Man X3, 179.
Yeah, look at the label though, man. Look, check it out.
Yeah, that's a poor. That's a case of like label damage.
Yeah, there's a X.
So this could have been foreshadowing to maybe the next system, right?
You really want to talk about that, Jay?
I think we
Play the
should.
episode.
I think
We
we
will.
should.
Which is pretty
We
cool.
will play the
150.
I'm actually surprised at the amount of super games that they got here. Now that we're looking, right, things are starting to really click.
You know what's cool about this store? What I'm noticing is that the rare stuff seems to be kind of mixed in too.
Yeah, it's not separate. It's like here's everything for this library, like and start the hunt. Like they even a lesser rare game, Bill and Ted's. You know.
Yeah.
Anything sticking out for you? I don't even know what your top 10 list is. We can talk about that. I almost don't want to know. I almost just want to know when you get one.
It's nothing here, so there you go.
Right.
For the duration of the Power Tour, Jay and I will be game hunting and hoping to cross off 10 essential games or staples we feel our collection is missing. Neither Jay nor I know what games
Thanks,
are on
Matt.
each other's lists. They could be rare or well-known, but I'm sure they will cover all eras, all consoles, and all libraries. It's not so much a competition as it's a fun hunt across North America.
But I kind of want to check that.
Transformers Beast Wars, isn't that for 64 kind of a good one?
Yeah,
Isn't that a Blockbuster exclusive or something?
might be.
I don't know if that particular one is.
Transformers Beast Wars $29.99, Jay.
game
$29.99.
based on the popular cartoon. It was
Yeah, it
released
was
for both the
$30,
Nintendo
guys.
64 and PlayStation, but the N64 version was a blockbuster.
And dude, that was 9 years ago, and it was $30. Look
Yeah.
it up now. It's not $30
Video
anymore.
exclusive,
Don't look it up.
meaning it was initially only available for rent. Finding a game like this for sale is pretty rare. Did I forget to mention it had different endings for all the characters?
For 29, I don't think that's the one.
But look at all the other 64 prices under $5.
Yeah, there's some really good
Except
prices.
for Star Fox 64.
If only the tapes cost that today.
Well, you know, in my opinion, it should be expensive. I mean, you definitely get the quality. Yeah, there's one for you, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Tigger's Honey Hunt. Maybe on my list. Maybe Tigger's Honey Hunt is on my list. It might be now, number 11.
Moving
Let's
on.
move on.
What's up, Jesse? How you doing, buddy?
Time is money and money comes power. They doctors on a new hour. With them, they bring a new flower. First sweet, but then it turns sour. Time goes on.
I like that
Are you around
Mario.
back there, dude?
You remember I just went back
He's
there?
really looking.
Look at me
No,
looking
I'm
at him.
I'm just kind of digging. Am I allowed to be back here?
Yeah, that's fine, but I just the Game Boy Advance thing. Maybe put them on the counter.
Sure. Getting in trouble.
He just goes behind the counter.
Okay, so
Oh, Populous.
I have 3 Genesis games on my list. We each have 10 games that we want to get by the end of the summer.
Right.
I got 3 Genesis games. There's a lot of Genesis games.
Well, this could be it.
Trust in the hands of others. I place trust in yourself. Time goes on.
Shadowrun, which obviously has been a huge PC thing
Yeah.
with tons of Kickstarter success with this one.
Yeah.
Juggle Stripe Seed everywhere.
Uh-oh. I think I found one of your games then.
Gee, maybe I found one of my games.
Gee, how do I think
There
that
it
this
is.
one of his games? I just kind of know.
Look at that one.
A spin-off from Mutant League Football, Mutant League Hockey, was released in 1994 for the Sega Genesis and published by Electronic Arts. This is anything but a straight-up sports sim and features parodies of real pro hockey teams like the St. Mucus Ooze. Expect exploding pucks, a chance to bribe the referee, in 23 unique arenas. It was also originally slated for the Super Nintendo, but eventually canceled, though spawned an animated series, Mutant League, for 2 seasons.
What's crazy about
You're
that,
big.
Jay, is that like 3-4 years ago, I actually got to write on the reboot of Mutant Football League
Yes,
with
you
the
did.
guys that made that because of the Kickstarter experience I had in interviewing Michael Mendheim for Video Game Box Art. Full circle moment.
So cool. So cool.
EA Sports guy, hockey in particular, and this is basically the Genesis EA hockey engine with like mutants and stuff like that on it. So
Book and everything.
$90.
But look at the label, man. The label.
Well, these are all in great condition.
Very, very nice.
Is that on your list?
It's on the list.
I knew it.
He's lying.
That's awesome.
It's on the list.
I knew that.
We're gonna put
Making
that
it up
over
as
here.
we go along.
No, it's on the list. You just don't like to lose.
Oh, that Figma, $40.
So the big winner today so far, congratulations.
Thank you.
You
One
got
on the list.
one on your list and one off your list. So you actually got 2.
2 titles.
So good for you. That's exciting.
And yourself?
It's true.
3 not on the list. This is
And
a
I cut the
probably
trailer for
encounter.
it too, Matt. The original
Welcome
Kickstarter
to
trailer is
Nintendo
what I
Quest.
cut.
So I got 3 that weren't on my list of games that I wanted to buy. I couldn't resist. I couldn't help myself. They were there and I had to get them, right?
The cool thing is, we're done game hunting for the day.
Wait a minute. I got nothing here.
You got 3 that were not on your list, so they don't
Oh,
count.
I was gonna say that sounds about right. Okay.
Today,
Yeah,
we
but
had
just
to
checking,
force
just
go
checking.
game hunting in LA, and we found this
Yeah.
awesome place, World 8.
It was a cool store.
Now we got to sign some DVD sleeves for Kickstarter, and then meet a
Look
special
at these
guest
cool dudes. Look at these
for a
cool
little
guys.
competition
So
that I have.
You know when you like
orchestrated
look back
for
at
you,
pictures of
not for
yourself
me,
like
for
in
you.
high school? This is how I feel right now. This is
I don't
somewhat
wanna-
embarrassing, even though it's video
Why do
game
you have so
hunting.
many?
I'm pretty cool looking.
Well, because it wouldn't be fun
Oh,
if you knew
wow.
what was going
Must
to
be
happen.
nice.
That's true.
Nothing's
That
cooler than
was
those
very
shorts I'm wearing.
familiar to me.
All right.
It's like Caddyshack shorts.
So
There, Rob got his big hero. He got 1 game.
Yeah, that's right. Clerks.
Non-related gaming question. Okay.
Even
need
just
it
down
when
to
you're
the title
talking on
cards.
phone, and somebody else is getting you to play the middleman. Like you're relaying information.
Is this a Seinfeld bit?
No, this
'Cause
is.
it feels like a Seinfeld bit.
This is the first step, and I got one more insult to this.
29 minutes, folks. 29.
So when you're
minutes.
talking to someone on the phone, you're like, "Oh, who are you talking to?" "Oh, I'm talking to Tracy."
Oh,
or
then
whatever.
tell them I say
Or
hi.
Tell them I said hi.
And then you're
like,
going.
"Hi," she says hi. Then tell her I said hi back, and you're like, "Hi."
What makes it worse is when they take the phone from you and you've been cut out of the conversation, and you're sitting there watching somebody on your phone have the conversation.
No, I think what's worse is when they keep the conversation going. Here, just take the phone. Here,
No,
you
I
talk,
hate-
you talk to them, and they're like, "No, you just tell them I said."
Because when
this."
someone
this have
takes
to
the
do with
phone,
game
now I'm
hunting?
sitting there watching
Oh, wait,
them
it's
talk
just
on my
us.
phone to the person I wanted to talk to.
I don't think I've had that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Or yeah,
Use your phone.
to further
Oh my
that, even when
God.
they say goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, okay, goodbye, and you're like, "Well, I wasn't done talking to whoever."
Yeah.
Tracy, whoever Tracy is.
This mythical Tracy. Tracy must be related to Mike Diamond, your alter ego, everyday gamer that you.
Mike Diamond.
What's the best Halloween costume you've had? Or was it best one or favorite one?
My favorite.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I still have that hat today, and I still wear it proudly.
And that
Raj,
Star Wars shirt.
Raj, he is Mutron's in the UK, so it's really, really late for him. Probably early morning.
Favorite one, I think, was when I was Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. My mom made that for me. What about you?
I had one where I was the Crow. But the Crow usually isn't
Yes, Jeff.
a portly character.
You said it, I mean, that's what I was laughing at.
That's not very nice of you.
When was that? I don't remember that.
A year that I've blocked out since.
Is that why you don't dress up? Because you never dress up. I always have the theme parties, like come as your rock star, come as your favorite.
I
movie
dressed
guy.
up for your New Year's dress up party. I was Vince Neil. I even wore the Motley Crue shirt so everybody knew.
That's true. Before Kelly's New Year's party, you didn't dress up.
Yeah, I did. I was just generic 80s dude. Remember I had the step shaved in my head?
That doesn't count.
It doesn't not count. I don't want to be some bootleg half-assed costume that clearly looks thrown together from Value Village. Don't you hate that? I applaud the effort, but I don't like
I don't know.
the throw me down.
I look back at it now, in that particular party we're talking about, my Hunter S. Thompson costume could have been a lot better. It was like all
That's true.
parties in 2 days. Now I have to look like Hunter S. Thompson. So I got like a ladies like Hawaiian shirt and then like the old man pants. And the hat wasn't even right.
Excuse me, can you point me in the direction of old man pants?
Those aren't hard
This
to
is
find, but the
Seinfeld
shirt
bit.
was tough.
Can I have a ladies Hawaiian shirt? I want to match it with my old man pants. What makes me laugh is when somebody says the odds of something happening are 50-50.
Yeah.
Look at me try. Like you can see me, chat. You can see me trying to comprehend what he's talking about. All three of these, I don't know what he's like. It takes me a few minutes.
We're talking just for like an hour and a bit, and I'm just pulling these out here. There's nothing scripted.
I know. Yeah,
This
And
is just
so
us hanging out.
This is us hanging out. We were signing all the Kickstarter ones, or the ones that we were selling, or whatever. We're signing them all.
Oh, these are for backers. These are
for backers. And Rob's just firing these like mundane, crazy questions.
Because they're obviously going to be right. Oh, it didn't happen. I'll see. Told you. 50-50.
I wanted to take off too. Next.
Do you think kids should be able to make their own name?
What's up, DJ VR? How you doing, buddy?
They say my name's Gaga Goo Goo. Like they can't even talk.
Well, I didn't mean from birth that they have to decide. Like fresh out of the womb, name yourself.
So when they're 16 or 18 or whenever they're an adult, and they could say, "I don't want to be called Tracy anymore.
I want to be called Corpse Skeleton."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought naming a kid Tool would be cool.
Come here, Tool.
This is my son, Tool. Come here, Tool.
Tool's a good name still.
Tool Bartlett.
Tool Bartlett. Totally a good. Come on, chat. What do you think?
Anakin Tool Bartlett.
So Rob,
I'm
just
so glad
dropped
we
me
didn't
off,
have a reward tier to hang out with
kind of
us,
in the
because
middle of
that
nowhere.
segment would have
I'm
just
kind of
killed
standing
those
here, I guess, waiting
rewards.
for our special guest. I don't know. I don't really have a good feeling about this one. I have no idea where I am or what's gonna. Hey, what's up, Carrie?
Hey, I've been waiting for you. Rob said that we were going to do a little dance off today for the NES Club blanket for the premiere tonight.
What?
So that's Carrie Swidecki. At the time, I don't know if she still is, but she was the world record holder for Just Dance. And Rob
She
likes
is,
to put
yeah.
me in these funny situations. So now I have to go one-on-one against Carrie Swidecki, the world record holder for Just Dance.
Yeah, you think you up to it? You think you can dance 76, 140 hours against me?
Carrie Swidecki is a multi-Guinness World Record holder. She's best known for marathoning Just Dance at over 76 hours, but she plans to smash that accolade with a new record attempt, 140 hours. That's over 6 days of video game dancing for this sorceress from Bakersfield. Oh yeah, she's also a presidential fitness wizard. And ever since I had a giant blanket made up for the NES Club with Jay's face on it, she's been dying to get a hold of it. So if she can beat Jay dancing today, it's hers, but she has to beat him to get it.
Rob put you up to this? What a shock.
Yeah, are you up for the challenge? You think you can handle a little dance off there?
No, but all right, let's do it, I guess.
All right, let's do it, man.
Look how embarrassing this is. Oh my god. I'm so stiff, dude. It's embarrassing.
Hence the upside down shots.
Oh, it was a lot thinner back then, buddy.
Weren't we all?
It's a tie! I didn't know where any of the pads were, and I kept tripping over everything, and then my back hit the bar, and she's dancing, and I'm pretty sure she did like a spin or something, and I'm looking over, and I just gave up.
We both got an FF. We tied, which is totally cool. But Rob won. He won on this one because he tricked us.
We both got Fs. What's up with that? Which I guess is a fail, but yeah, I tied a world record holder.
Oh, thanks,
so I'm pretty
guys.
happy about that.
I tried. Carrie kicked my butt, man.
But we are on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills.
That's where we is.
For the first screening of Nintendo Quest.
This is crazy.
Is that whole thing kind of... That's pretty huge, in my opinion. At least for me.
It's the world premiere, and that's really big, right? But because we're doing this as a tour, a 13-city tour stop now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the rock band, and this is just the first show going all the way down. And so every show leading up that we go to is just going to...
Okay, so let me stop you here for a second. I want to ask you, Rob.
Okay.
How did you feel here? You could see here, like, my demeanor's changed. I'm very nervous. So we're in the first screening on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, chat. And this is the first film I've ever been involved with. So for me, I'm like, oh my God, people are going to, and people from California, no less, right?
Yeah.
Are going to see this film that we've been working on for so long. So I know, because it's, I'm centered in the film. I'm completely terrified right now. What were you thinking right now?
Well, I'm really tired. You can tell just by looking at me how tired I am, because it's been a super long day. But I'm curious to see what people think. We'd only done one early cut screening of our hometown where there was a lot of tightening and adjusting and polishing. So I'm really curious to see what people think what it is, because we hadn't done a lot of promotion. We didn't show a lot of clips. So, but like I say here, I'm not really worried about this screening because there's so many screenings to get through. I'm happy with the film that I made, and I knew I was happy with it when I finished it. So I wasn't nervous about people hating it. I was just excited for the whole tour ahead. 20 minutes to go, too, folks, on Kickstarter.
Cheap Bartlett. Really quickly, DJ, I guess we can both answer this. Did the Angry Video Game Nerd inspire you guys? Rob?
I don't know that he inspired us. Definitely cool to watch and fun, and I think his content certainly promoted retro gaming and NES stuff. I don't think anything we do is like James.
I think for me, James created a genre, right? And I think Rob and I would still be hunting for whatever it is we wanted to hunt for, but obviously James, I think, is a big part of this for me, especially now with YouTube. But
keep building.
We just need 9 more friends,
Okay,
folks, to
what
get
an
to
opening scene.
350. 9 friends,
Ellen,
19
she's a
minutes, and then
temptress.
everybody gets the power tour.
Yeah, she's a temptress.
I don't know that this episode is a good sales tool.
I think it's fine.
This is me getting all cinematic and emotional.
Had a couple drunks in the crowd. That
Oh,
guy.
yeah, you got to
That guy.
sauce the audience up.
The Nicholson guy. That guy.
Yeah, he's cool, smart. I think we interviewed him after.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of hiding back here.
Yeah. What are you nervous about?
There's a lot of me out there, so it's a personal story, so I'm kind of worried, you know how it is. Talk about a lot of things that are private. Like Rob and I did an interview one-on-one about a lot of stuff, and didn't really think too much of it, and it's fine. But now everyone's going to see it. So
Welcome to the world premiere tonight of Nintendo Quest. Okay, we're all excited to be here. It's an honor for me to be here tonight. I got in contact with Rob and Jay in 2013. When I was following him on Twitter by Patrick Scott Patterson, I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with that, but he does a lot with video gaming. And I saw him talking about this documentary that was being filmed about collecting all the Nintendo games. And I fell in love with it because I've always wanted to do that as a kid. I've been a gamer since I was 5 years old. And I contacted Rob and I said, I really love your project. I wish you guys the best of luck. And I said, in 2 weeks, I'm going to get ready to set a world record by playing the video game Just Dance for 48 hours.
Wow.
And I ended up doing it for
It's
49,
amazing.
and he was actually following my Twitter feed. And he saw that. And after I did that, he contacted me. He goes, we got to drive down and interview you in Bakersfield, California. I said, I'm honored that you want to interview me for your documentary. So they came down, and that's kind of how I got involved with the project in it for a few minutes, but I'm honored to be a part of it because I love Nintendo and it's just my childhood. And I can't wait to see what happens, the outcome, if they really get all the games. So I'm just a big fan of the project.
So just a couple quick words, guys. I am Rob McCallum.
Oh, that's an interesting thing too. Nobody has asked us so far, Jay. Did you do it?
Yeah.
We were constantly asked with Nintendo Quest. Well, did you do it? Did you get all the games? Nobody has asked us for N64 Quest if we did or not. Please don't. Please don't. But
well, I mean, you can, but we're so close. Again, guys, now's your chance to get yourself a physical Blu-ray.
That's right. 16
we
minutes
can't
to go.
spoil it now. We're so close.
16 minutes to go.
Hi guys.
This film has been a little over 2 years in the making, from the first phone call between Jay and I, hashing out the idea about doing a documentary on collecting, to something a little bit more in the game show variety. Because why do just a straight up documentary on games when a documentary on games could be like the games that Jay wanted to collect, with obstacles, with mini bosses, with unexpected turns, and maybe secret power ups. So that was the motivation to push it to that other level. And then along the way, we got to meet awesome people in the community, like Carrie Swidecki, the helper friends that every gamer hero gets along the way. And it was just really an awesome experience. So to be able to come here to LA and Beverly Hills, to the screening room, it means the world to us. Of course, those of us that are following what we're doing on Facebook and Twitter know this is the first of 13 theatrical stops that we're taking the film across the summer, leading up to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo in October. And we just really couldn't ask for more support. So thank you for following along on Facebook. Jay?
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. We really hope you enjoyed it. It is a documentary on Nintendo, of course.
I'm so nervous.
But it's much more, and we hope you guys see that.
I know, you're wringing your hands.
It's our love letter to Nintendo, and I'm sure you guys love games as much as we do. So
clam hands.
Yeah, thank you, and let's rock this.
All right, game on. Oh, then we show a scene, of course.
Is this your spirit scene? Oh no. I always love this part.
I thought it was incredible. I knew nothing about it when I came in, obviously. I awkwardly walked in. I was like, is this the thing? I don't know what I'm doing. But I got sucked in roughly 3 to 4 minutes in when I realized what was actually happening. And I thought, wow, this is really incredible. I didn't think anybody would ever do
That's
something
the
like
best.
this.
It kind of falls in the same category as like King of Kong, kind of, and it was cool to see like that guy's journey.
Gamers will definitely relate to his passion and his respect for the library, for the games that they'll recognize, games that I did not recognize.
Anybody that's interested in video games should see this movie because I think it gives another insight about why people collect this, why they're passionate about it.
Go get NES Quest. Any real collector needs this in their collection.
I understand that human aspect about it, and that's one reason I love this movie so much. It brings a different personality. It isn't just about, oh, I bought this game online. And he actually shows that interaction that we don't see anymore in the modern day consoles with everyone playing on Twitch and not interacting with people in real life. So I love that part of it.
How'd it go? What'd you think?
I have no words. I'm utterly shocked. And we kept tapping each other through all the parts. Like, people laughed at so much. And they cheered when the games popped up, like the achievements. They love that too. And
Every single quote that kind of prefaced this section got a reaction, which I haven't heard before. We've done some rough cut screenings and I didn't get quite those reactions. So that was neat.
it was a very, very positive and very humbling experience, to say the least.
Again, like the rough cut screening, people are coming up to us after. It's the, you guys have over delivered. Oh my God, you've made a film that means something. It goes above and beyond the trappings of what I thought. People went into this blind without trailers going, they're still asking us questions. I mean,
and they're talking about little details about the film too. I got asked, you know, the girl in there asked me, you know, so did you fly here? And I was like, holy cow. Like,
yeah, they're paying attention.
Yeah.
They're paying attention. So.
Oh, I'm so pleased, and I can't wait to continue this tour.
Yeah, one down, dozen more to go. So how it can get better will be a miracle in itself, but this feels really good just for the moment.
So we'll mingle.
All right.
There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first episode of the Power Tour from 2015. There you go. We do have a little bit of time left to shout out. Dan, thank you for the legendary membership. And you're one of the longest, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. DJ VR. Yeah, I was just going to say that's our Power Tour 10 episode series where we toured the film Nintendo Quest. Yeah, so it's something a bit different than Nintendo Quest.
Jay, here's one for you. We often talk about how eras of gaming is different, how the 64 era was a different time than it is now. How would you say gaming is similar to that era?
Today?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier where I said that the game is important, like especially with our community. We play lots of games together online. Like Grand Theft Auto Online is a lot of fun, but it's really about the people. So I think it's similar because the games are great, the games are fun, but ultimately it's about the people you're playing them with. Do you know what I mean? Even when we go game hunting, we go toy hunting, it's fun to get the item, the grail you want, but it's about the journey. It's about going to the store together. It's about the experiences you have along the way with your friends, with people.
Yeah. I think that the AAA successes are still feel the same. You know, when a Mario game is a hit, it feels the same like it did back then. And I think the indie hits, the stuff that you didn't know was coming, those big surprises still feel the same. Fortunately, we have a lot less, in some respects, a lot less of those because there's so much attention being put on the big AAA titles that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But man, every time that there is an indie game that just, you know, battles through all of that nonsense to become just a great gaming experience. It's just like any other gaming era, but the 64 era and the 90s gaming where people weren't afraid to take big risks and innovate and try something new, even if it meant it could be a colossal failure. I still get that feeling with indie games today.
Yeah, I would agree. Indie is definitely where it's at, which is Steam's a great platform for that. I will throw Capcom's name out there because I think they're doing pretty much everything perfect, where they will celebrate the past by remaking and re-releasing games, but they still look to the future as well. So I think Capcom is a perfect example of a company who, again, celebrates the past and where they came from and where gaming came from, but at the same time is always looking to the future. I think if we continue to do that, or if game developers continue to do that, I think it's going to be great.
Okay, well, we've only got 9 minutes left on the campaign. We'll probably talk for a minute or two after, of course, but 9 minutes, 8 minutes, we need 9 friends. You guys got 9 friends out there, please. Or if you're a backer already and you want to add in, do an add-on, a disc or something like that, that's cool. But we really want 350 people. Let's talk about other quests, future quests. Are we waiting 10 years for the Nintendo Wii quest, the Wii U quest?
Well, I mean, that depends on a bunch of different factors.
We didn't want to wait 10 years for this one. It just lined up that way.
Yeah, and I mean, since we have, a full packed house here, let's answer the question that a lot of people have asked us, and I don't know if everyone in the chat knows the answer, but Rob, why did we not do Super Nintendo Quest? Why did we
similarly,
show...
did I miss something? Did you guys already do Super Nintendo Quest?
Why did we choose to do 64 over Super Nintendo?
The 64 just meant more to us as a time of gaming, as a system that connected us, not only with each other, but with our whole group of friends. And it's a more interesting time in gaming. It's a much more interesting system to talk about than the SNES. I think the library of games is more interesting. That whole, we're going into the 3D space, is just more fun to discuss and explore than here's a 16-bit version of this game. It's better in ABC ways. It's like, you're not wrong, but that doesn't make it an interesting thing for the sake of a documentary. And, to a lesser degree, the film comes out, or the series comes out 10 years after the film. The 64 was out 10 years after the NES, so there's a bit of a parallel there too. It just kind of works. We're not saying no to Super Nintendo, but much like all of these collect them all things, we got to find a way that makes sense to be able to flip the lesser wanted titles. Like, nobody's going to want to pay, twice market value or even 25% above and beyond, the price of, a Madden football game that costs $1. They're not going to give us $3 or something like that, because they just won't. Unless they feel really bad for us. But trying to do that across all the shovelware that's out there, especially for the Super Nintendo, is really hard. So if you've got ideas on how to flip those lesser desirable titles, and there are a lot of them for the Super Nintendo, then I'm totally keen to listen to what that plan is. But we have racked our brains a few different ways, and of course it came up again with us and Nintendo 64 Quest, as you guys will see how thing works.
I threw it up in the poll here. Congratulations to the Jungle Green 64 for winning. Next
really?
Poll, yep. The next poll.
342 backers. Sorry, 342.
Nice. What should be next? Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the PlayStation 1, or the Sega Dreamcast? Get your votes in now, guys.
Those are the ones you picked? So first of all, you went off of Nintendo-only consoles, which is what people told us that we had to do.
I'm reading what the chat wants, so we're throwing it in there.
Okay.
Seeing what this is not what's going to be next. Definitely, just kind of feeling the waters, because you're asking me, when should the next one be? I think the answer to that is when it feels right to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Nintendo 64 Quest is not my full-time job. It is not Jay's full-time job, which means we got to find a way to make it work above and beyond our full-time responsibilities. This does not pay our bills at all. It is incredibly hard to break even, let alone profit off of this stuff. Even with the amazing support that we have online, and there's only 5 minutes left, that's going to go cover audio post, legal, insurance, the the manufacturing of the discs, the shipping, all the different reward stuff. There's not going to be anything left. The more we raise, the easier it is to do all this stuff like extra art and all that. But we don't make money off this stuff, folks. We do it because we love it and we love interacting with you. And it gives us a cool reason to hang out doing something above and beyond the ordinary, which is awesome.
A lot of great answers. Dreamcast, Big Box PC Quest, Atari Lynx Quest.
How about Long Box PS1 Quest?
Yeah, it's like 10 games or whatever. If you're gonna get crazy real, then I'm gonna throw down the 3DO, and then nobody's gonna want to watch that.
CDI Quest. Here's one that nobody.
I was just gonna say, I just want, because Rob has contacts with Trip Hawkins. I just want to be able to meet the man. That's it. So I'm voting for 3DO Quest. That's my next.
You know what's never come up is a handheld based quest: Game Boy, GBA, DS, 3DS.
Yeah.
Or Turbo Express. You're like, yeah, there's a reason.
Well,
there's 1,000 Game Boy games, I think.
There's a lot. Matt says Saturn Quest, or more like an actual question. Do you think a Saturn Quest would be feasible? Do you think Saturn would draw enough attention?
Well, I mean, attention for who? Because we chose 64 for Jay and I, not because of what everybody else liked, although we assume that there were people that would like it. Although I am curious, if we had done SNES Quest, if the Kickstarter would have been a bigger success. Would people have been more excited?
I don't know. We'll never know that. I have no idea. Matt, I don't think the Sega Saturn. I mean, it's got a lot of popularity now because the games are so expensive because it didn't sell, right? I'm not saying it's a bad system. It just had terrible marketing. And we know what happens when you have terrible marketing, TurboGrafx.
2 minutes. 2 minute warning. Can we get 8 more backers?
8 more backers in 2 minutes for the incredible Power Tour. Actually, I think it's pretty incredible. And it gets pretty wacky, man. The tour gets pretty wacky as it goes on. I would love to do something like that for 64 Quest. I think it would have been a lot of fun to do a tour. But where can people get the tickets for the London, Ontario screening?
Well, the easiest thing to do is go to n64quest.com or nintendo64quest.com, and there's links to get tickets for our world premiere on November 2nd at the historic Highland Cinemas, where Nintendo Quest played in our hometown, where they premiered tons of epic films that our landmark, like Empire and Raiders, all played there. It's kind of like our hometown, our home base theater. So we're going to have a 9 p.m. start time. There's going to be limited merch. I mean, people have been asking me for discs from other series and films that I've done, and I have like a handful of stuff kind of in my basement, so I'm going to bring that out. Posters, nothing really that has been a part of the Kickstarter campaign, I don't think. So 100 seconds to go. It's going to be a great night, though. Q&A with Jay and my.
Oh, I think Rob just dropped out. There we go.
I got all excited. I think something flicked on me. 85 to go. Here we go. Whew, getting hot in here. The premiere is going to be good. Don't leave too early. We still got lots of stuff to talk about.
So he's just saying, this November 2nd, guys, it's just Saturday night in London, Ontario. You can come hang out with Rob and I. We'll be screening, I think it's the first 4 episodes of 64 Quest.
First
three. Going to be a ton of fun. Going to be a good party. It's going to be a good party.
It's going to be good. Just a little taste, and then everybody else will start getting the episodes later that month. We're also doing an online screening as well with those 3 premieres. So I think there's 20 or so backers that are going to join us in a closed environment like this and watch those 3 episodes together.
What's up, Chris? How you doing? Hello, Jay and Rob. Love seeing you guys on TV and YouTube. Planet Cool Stuff rocks. I'm so pumped for Nintendo 64, Doc. Thank you, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks. That's awesome. 33 seconds. We're going to get one more backer. If we get one more new backer, just one new backer in the next 20 seconds, I'll give the Power Tour to people. No pressure. No pressure. Come on, please make it happen. Pressure. Are we going to do it? We got 17 seconds. You can count down. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Who's going to be there at the finish line to join us? Just $19 to get in. 3, 2, 1.
Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. Look at the explosions. Hey. Woo! Thank you, Kickstarter, for
Look
the
at that.
fireworks.
There we go.
Woo!
That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank you for all the support, everyone. You guys are just awesome. And thanks for being here talking with us through these final minutes. Again, those 31 days have just flown by. So awesome. You guys are
Real thank you for the gifted membership, my friend. Much love. Oh, sorry, that's you renewing yours. My bad. Thank you for renewing yours. Even better. I'm glad
This is
that you enjoy the solo content, buddy. So thank you so much. Mo, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Well, that is it. That is it. That is our
Kinda does,
Kickstarter.
doesn't it?
We are once again excited for everybody to see the sequel to Nintendo Quest. We can't wait. And again, I would love to see some of you in London, Ontario, November 2nd. So you can
It'd be
get
awesome.
tickets now. It would be great. Rob, any closing words for everybody?
I'm just incredibly thankful for everybody's support on this project and everything that we do. It no longer feels like I hope we get to do more like it did with Nintendo Quest, because we've had the opportunity to keep revisiting different journeys and bring in different fandoms that are part of our multi-layered passion. So I'm excited that we get to share this with people, and I'm excited too that we put this Kickstarter together when we're so close to being able to release it, so nobody has to wait. It's just exciting that this is the next thing, but what else we could do is also super exciting for me as well. And I know that everybody's going to be there to see what we're up to and kind of get behind it, which is just awesome. So thank you for everything. Keep tune into all our socials. Keep up to date with everything. Jay streams all the time. You guys know that. He'll have all the latest and greatest, and maybe he'll pop on here and there.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice to get Rob on some game stuff, or maybe just some talking head stuff would be great. Guys, I'm about 70% better, so I'm gonna try and make up for lost time. I will let you guys know, okay, when I'm coming back. So just keep a heads up for that. And thank you to everyone who's reached out. Big thank you from Rob McCallum and myself for once again believing in what we do and backing our dreams. So thank you, and I hope you guys enjoy Nintendo 64 Quest. We got a $10 donation. Let's get that going. WINC, let's go, buddy. Thank you so much. Great show, and congrats. Did not expect Mutant League Hockey appearance tonight. Very awesome.
But there's a lot of great stuff in the Power Tour. So maybe if my cold heart melts, we'll find a way to make that available.
Thank you for the donation, WINC. And we'll leave you tonight, guys. Rob and I are taking off. We will leave you with the trailer for Nintendo 64 Quest. I will see you guys in a couple days. All right, my friends. Peace out, everybody. Much love.
So wait, what's this going for?
I'm just gonna say 10K.
10,000?
Yeah, it's 10K.
You almost buy our own ship for that. 10,000. The budget is 20,000. The goal is 296 North American Nintendo 64 tapes, and we have 14 days. Whoa, 700. Yeah, you don't see that every day. There you go. Oh, wow. That's what I got so far. There's a ton of 64 games, and on top of that, they hit me with right away. Oh, there's another. The expensive stuff's in the back. Dude, did you know it was like this? There is stuff pristinely displayed everywhere. I have never seen a video game store like this.
I remember the launch of the Nintendo 64 like it happened last week.
The hype around the N64 was real, and I just remember at Montgomery Words they had videos playing and like all these like sneak peek images, and
You had new kinds of games and new kinds of movement that you hadn't seen before. It was kind of like the Wild West of 3D in those days, with the 64 coming out and obviously Sega Saturn.
And the Nintendo 64, I know there's so much hype about it being a 3D powerhouse. This is the future of video games. It's 3D.
That was the system to have. That was the system that could not be beaten. And that was the system that I think everybody had to have at that point in time.
Over the course of the last few years, I lost Mom to Alzheimer's and dementia. To say losing your mother is hard I can't even describe it. To watch somebody fade away into nothing It's the worst experience or disease I've ever encountered. So all the games that we get are going to be auctioned off, and every single penny is going to the Canadian Alzheimer's Society.
People see that 296 game count. I can collect all those. I can do this.
I lived through him a little bit when he's out there buying games. I've been through it myself.
You're gonna have to find a lot of great game stores who have some great inventory. Nintendo 64 is still super hot.
I want to see them found, and I also want to see just how expensive that they can get. In 14 days, that sounds pretty insane.
It's an interesting journey to see these games 30 years later being purchased and collected for a great cause.
Can he do it, or did he fail? And either way, it's going to be entertainment. And I think whatever happens at the end, it'll be entertainment watching it, and I can't wait to see it myself.
I wish him luck. That's all I can say, man.
We're going to hit the road. We're going to hit as many stores as we can, get all the games, and raffle them off for the Alzheimer's Society. It's not to love. This is much more than just collecting games. This is a quest for hope.